Okay. Hi guys, my name is Arnel Bungkasan and I'm originally from the Philippines, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. For today's video, I'm going to be talking about how I was able to come to Canada and why I came here. And since this is also an introduction video of my first ever YouTube channel, I'm going to be talking about a little bit of background of myself. And so I hope that you will stay throughout this video, and let's begin. So yes, we'll start off this video by talking about my life after high school. So basically, I grew up in a not so well-off family, and because of our financial situation, I wasn't able to go to college right after graduation. I don't have any options, but instead I have to work in a farm of my godmother. I worked there for 1 year, and just after 1 year, my sister decided to send me to college. And because I don't want to be a burden of the family, I started working in a fast food chain in the Philippines, which is Jollibee. And I was very fortunate enough to work at Jollibee because you have an option to go to school and at the same time work. And so because of that, I was able to support my college for 2 years, and at the same time do a little bit of contribution to my parents. But as my siblings are going into college as well, I know deep in my heart that my parents couldn't be able to fund their basic needs, their transportation, their school projects and all that. So I decided to quit on my part-time job that supported my studies as well. So both of them I gave up. I gave up my dream to be in school. I gave up my dream of working to support my studies and being independent. But I was lucky enough to find another job that could provide more for my family and support my siblings as well. And that's when I started working as a call center representative at a newly opened a BPO company in my hometown. And yeah, I worked there for 2 years, graveyard shifts for 2 years. But out of all those thoughts that makes me confused, there's only one thing that is really sure, and that is my dream to go to school. And there are there's really a lot of times I felt so jealous of my high school batchmates, that they're in college, they're very successful, they're about to graduate at that time. But at the same time, I was also happy that I was also supporting my family back then. Especially my siblings, I was able to support their college, even just their basic needs, their daily needs like transportation, their school projects and all that. So I was kind of happy and grateful of that experience too. At the same time, this burning desire that I had back then to really go to school is killing me, and sometimes it gives me frustrations that I can't go back to school. And so I just prayed hard. I just prayed so hard. God is really good. God is really good. I saw this ad in a newspaper, specifically in a section which I don't normally look at. So it was actually half page in a newspaper saying that they're looking for students that wish to study in Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. All expense paid, tuition, and all the miscellaneous fees. And so I applied. I didn't even had a chance to really search for the company and study and research about the company. There's just this burning desire for me to really just comply all the requirements and comply the application form. And after a few days, I found myself sending the application to Manila. And to make the long story short, I was selected as one of the 35 students to study in one of the prestigious hospitality and culinary schools in Malaysia, which is Berjaya University College of Hospitality, now Berjaya University College. And that's me during a fashion show competition, and that's us, the 35 Filipino scholars. And I also made it to be the university's cover for the tourism management brochure. So prior to coming back to the Philippines, I already had a job offer from the company that I work with during my internship. But because I only have a student visa at that time, I have to go back to the Philippines and process my work permit. But when I was in Manila, I really don't have any idea or any experience processing working visa in a scratch. So I decided to not pursue the job and ended up working in a bank in Manila as a financial advisor. So my life in Manila was a rat race. It wasn't easy. I know that I get a lot of stress from finding accommodation, staying at a relative's house, waking up early in the morning at 4 a.m. for a 9 a.m. shift, and going back home around 9 to 10 p.m. Depending on the traffic. Because of that, I thought of going back to my hometown to just kind of spend a little bit more time for my family and be with my parents because I was out of the country for 3 years. I don't have that chance to really spend more time for my parents and my family, and so that's when I decided to really go back and find a job there. And fortunately enough, when I went back, I was able to work at the local government specifically at the city tourism office, and that's when I worked for 2 years. Working in the city tourism office was my dream job. I love what I was doing. So working in the city tourism office has given me so many experiences and lessons, especially into community events. There's a lot of sleepless nights, and because I love what I was doing, I love the people I work with, I just felt so fulfilled. But around the last quarter of 2017, I have this burning desire again to really go abroad. I know that I love what I was doing at the office, but my main priority to really help my family is not being fulfilled at that time. I can totally support myself, but I can't really support the entire family. There's already a lot of thoughts in my mind to what's next, what's the next plan of working so hard at the office. And so I prayed so hard. And so I saw this one good friend of mine on her Facebook page. She posted that she will be coming to Canada for a student visa to pursue her master's degree. And so I messaged her. I tried to ask how did she do it and what was the cost. And I realized that I couldn't make it because it was too expensive. I don't have any savings, not even paying the agency fee to process my student visa at that time. And so I let it slide. I just ignored the fact that I couldn't make it. Come December of 2017, we have this tradition in the Philippines before Christmas that we do 9 mornings. So we go to church in the morning around 4 a.m. You do that in 9 mornings before Christmas. And so people say that if you finish the 9 mornings, you will actually you will make a wish at the end of after completion. And so I did. I did finish 9 mornings, and one of my wishes was to go abroad, and if God would really give me the chance to pursue my desire to go to Canada and pursue my master's degree, that would be awesome. And come 2018 of January, I spoke to my sister about my plans, and that's when I talked to her of me going to Canada to pursue my master's degree. So come January of 2018, I already found myself processing my papers for the student visa here in Canada. I was really thankful for the people who helped me, and God really provides, and that's what I always think of. God will really give you people that will help you. I came here in Canada May of 2018 to pursue my master's degree in tourism management and at Royal Roads University here in the beautiful city of Victoria in the province of British Columbia, Canada. Thankfully, after 18 months, around 2 years, I was able to graduate last year, 2019. And now I am already one of the many overseas Filipino workers here in Canada. I am currently holding a postgraduate work permit. So there you go, guys. I probably told you half of my life story, and I hope that somehow you were inspired of my life story. But before that, there's 5 key takeaways that help me sometimes think that I'm so grateful. And here's my top 5 key takeaways. So I always believe that when we prayed so hard, or when we pray, that God only answers yes or not now. There's a lot of instances in my life that I get frustrated because I don't know if God is really listening. When I was still in high school, after graduating high school, I always thought of going to college right away and be at school of your dream course, but that's not the case. I actually worked as a farm boy and get jealous of my schoolmates and my batchmates of getting into college, and I felt so frustrated and demotivated at that time. So when I was still working as a call center representative, I always wanted to work and move up to a management position, but I couldn't get in because I don't know, it's not really meant for me. And things happened, really a lot of great opportunity, and it took years to have that great opportunity. Just the scholarship itself is what makes me so grateful in my life. I couldn't forget that opportunity to be able to study abroad, all expense paid, and with allowances. And those allowances I was still able to support myself and even my family back in the Philippines. So I was very fortunate enough to do that for 3 years. That alone is a testament that God is putting you to a best place and best opportunity. I didn't realize that God has put me to this better opportunity and better university and experiences. My life in Malaysia, in Kuala Lumpur as a student, was one of the 3 years that I couldn't forget, really. A lot of happenings, a lot of great memories. I've met a lot of people. Even up to this time, they are still my friends. So even if I prayed so hard, even if I prayed so hard, and if it's not really meant for you, I know that I always thought of that God will really give me a better opportunity. Yeah, so it may not be a yes for now, but it will be a yes later. Those dreams and plans are just parked right there for you to establish, and you just have to believe. And this leads to my second key takeaways. So yeah, believe in God's plan. Everything happens for a reason. There's a lot of instances in my life where I always thought that everything just happened for a reason. I started after high school. I know that I actually worked as a farm boy. I was actually grateful about that experience, and thinking that moment until now, I could say that everything just happened for a reason, and you just have to believe. Even up to the moment, even up to a situation where you are so down and you are being troubled with a lot of challenges, you just have to believe God is just testing you. And sometimes the reason why we are actually being troubled is just God wants to talk to you. And again, this is all based on my experiences. I don't want to preach you guys. I don't want to preach about God, and this is just based on me. this is based on my experience, why I am so grateful each day of my experiences, and why I am so grateful of what I have right now. And that is because I always believe that God put me in a situation where I could make use of it, and I make use of your purpose in life. And yeah, and that's it. Yeah, just have to believe in God's plan and be motivated. And speaking of being motivated, the third key takeaway is being able to bring your own whys everywhere you go. And every time when you're troubled, when we are actually demotivated, and sometimes we are just bombarded with a lot of things in life, and life is just not treating well on us. And sometimes the reason why we couldn't handle this, we don't know why we exist and why we are here, and what's our purpose in life. And for me, in my case, I know that the fact that back then, I know the fact that I always wanted to go to school, because I always wanted to have this opportunity, and I know that my purpose is to really help and help my family. So that's actually my burning desire every time. That is my main big why. Every time when I'm stressed at work, or sometimes it feels so lonely, being abroad here in Canada alone. Most of the time you get homesick, and you just miss them, your family. And what makes me more motivated to do what I am doing right now is to think it's because of them. And that is my main big whys. Always my family, to support them and to provide for a comfortable life for them. Another why for me is to secure my future, and that is to have a comfortable life for me. I grew up in not so well a family. I had a lot of experiences when I was still a child, where you couldn't even eat 3 times a day, where you couldn't even have a proper meal on the table. And I don't want to have that experience to my future family, my own family. But I am so grateful for that experiences, because I was able to see how it was like that. For me, those are my big whys. So yeah, always be good to others. It's one of the golden rules that sometimes we tend to forget, to be good to others, and brings positive people around you. And that is the reason why I was able to come to Canada, because I was surrounded with people that was willing to help me to come here. And one of it is my sister, who is really good and very supportive. I know that I was a good brother. I know that I was a good brother, and even to just simple of being a co-worker, and to your siblings, to anyone, just be good to others. Number 5, always dream big. And this category is very emotional. This is so emotional for me. I always thought of my past experiences when I was still a child. If I didn't dream big, what if I didn't? I wouldn't be here. There's really a lot of challenges when I was still a child, growing up without almost anything, when I thought of myself 7, 8, 9, 10 years old, I always thought of that individual as a dreamer. There's a lot of instances when there's really a lot of instances in my life when I was still growing up, thinking of it as, for me, was a bad experience in a good way. Right now, I always thought of that experience as a blessing. The reason why it makes me humble, as my core experience to make me humble. I always wanted to inspire people. I always wanted to see me as an inspiration to always dream big. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for staying throughout this video, and I hope you learned a lesson. And please don't forget to like and share this video and subscribe on my YouTube channel and press the notification bell so that you will be notified for my next video. And I hope that we will grow as a community of motivated, determined, and passionate individuals, and I know we will. Thank you so much. Till next video. Bye.